So let's try and make sense of these developments. Sushant, Sarian and Tilak Devasher, stay with me on this big story. Mr. Devasher, your assessment, because it's not just General Mirza. There are many Pakistani generals, including those of Pakistan's ISI, who visited Bangladesh, some very close to the Indian border, and especially the Siliguri Corridor, and they're building military strength around that area. Your assessment of what's happening in Bangladesh right now, sir?
You know, according to the reports, media reports, I don't have confirmation that the Mirza actually did go to Sylhet and flew to areas around the Chicken's Neck. So obviously, you know, some sort of a mischief is afoot. But the interesting thing again, these are media reports. I stand corrected if you have to. He didn't meet the army chief.
Yes.
He met the naval chief. He met the air chief. There is no report about him meeting the Bangladesh army chief. That I think is significant because if there is to be any kind of anti-India moves, the army will definitely be involved. So that is one thing we should just keep at the back of the mind. But yes, there has been a series of visit and army officers exchanges right from January onwards when people from Bangladesh have gone. They've started training courses, ships, air flights are going to start again. So there's a whole lot of things on the agenda which shows a deepening the relationship or Pakistan trying very hard to deepen the relationship with Bangladesh. And most significant, if you recall, when Asim Munir was speaking to the diaspora in Tampa, Florida, he said, this time we will attack India from the east. That's where they have the most resources. So, and they don't share a...
Yes.
They don't share a border with...
Yes.
They don't share a border. So obviously they have some sort of intention of using what you mentioned, strategic depth, or trying to use the land border of Bangladesh. And the most vulnerable area is the Siliguri Corridor of Chicken's Neck. So if you put all these things together, and now with this Lashkar fellow arriving there, along with Zakir Naik, it shows that there is a creeping sort of coordination between Pakistan and Bangladesh. I wouldn't say all of Bangladesh. In any case, this man, Mohammad Yunus, is only there for a temporary time. And hopefully when elections are held in February, there will be greater clarity on which way Bangladesh is going. But this is something we should certainly be concerned about.
Because Sushant Sareen, when you look at the picture, one is being done very openly. The visit of Pakistani generals, the visit of Zakir Naik, the visit of those very close to Lashkar-e-Taiba, the radicalization of a major part of the population there. What does this all show? Asim Munir said next time the attack will take place from the east. So elections in Bengal, target India's east, target India's northeast, target the Chicken's Neck. Or are they trying to send across a message, don't mess with us in Afghanistan, we'll mess with you through Bangladesh?
I think it could be all of the above. Gaurav, I think they are going to try and send that message. There is some talk of a trilateral between China, Pakistan and Bangladesh. The Bangladeshis have said no for now, but who knows how things will pan out. We've seen a lot of movement of the Islamists, as you yourself have documented it. And we have seen a regime in Bangladesh under this third-rate fellow, the Nobel Peace Laureate. Even I don't know the kind of people who get the Nobel Peace Prize. This fellow, he has actively been encouraging this activity and has been denying it whenever he's been confronted with it. So I think it's upon us now to wake up and again smell the coffee, unless we again want to stay in a slumber and think that no, Bangladesh will be perfectly fine, it'll all work out in the end. Let's wait for the elections. Look, the elections are not going to throw up any results. I would love to be surprised and be proven wrong. But from whatever we can make out right now, the elections are not going to throw up any results which are going to be good for India. Okay? And let us imagine a situation where a terrorist party like the Jamaat-e-Islami wins the election. Then what? Then what do you do? Are they going
and
to
we still have a portion of a border that is not fenced even today.
Allow me a sentence. I think it's very clear what India needs to do. Number one, beef up your intelligence assets in Bangladesh to get a fix on where all these activities are taking place. And secondly, the Prime Minister assured this country, Mr. Modi, that henceforth we will not allow this kind of terrorism to take place into India without an appropriate response. So please be ready for an appropriate response. Don't take 3 weeks before you now start taking an appropriate response. If it means having to bomb some kind of camps or take out some kind of people inside Bangladesh, this is something that the Bangladeshis would have called upon themselves, not something that we desire doing, but this is
Okay.
something that the Bangladeshis are forcing us to do. I think that
Okay.
message needs to go out loud and clear.
Mr. Devasher, how would you see Zakir Naik's presence, and especially after the terror attack? He's a fugitive there, he's a fugitive from law in India, and now he gets a red carpet treatment from the radical Islamists in Bangladesh. Is this not just to radicalize people in Bangladesh, but also along India's border belt?
True. But you know, Zakir Naik was, last year, he was in Pakistan. He got even a redder carpet treatment in Pakistan, if you recall. Now he's come to Bangladesh, working on both sides. So this man is danger. He's poison. And the fact that he's in Bangladeshi, unfortunately, after the departure of Sheikh Hasina, the radicalism in the Bangladesh polity has come very much in evidence because of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And on top of it, if you insert Zakir Naik, then you can, it's a witch's brew. So I think it's again a very dangerous thing. One thing about elections, what I meant to convey was that this chap, Yunus, is acting, right? So you can't take what he's doing as Bangladesh policy. Once you have a government, a regular government elected for 5 years, then Bangladesh will be in its true colors and you will know. I agree with Sushant. We know which way the trend is going. If a Awami League continues to be banned and can't participate, then it will be a toss-up between the Jamaat and the BNP. Neither of the two prospects are, at the moment, or going by past history, very much to speak home about. But there will be a regular government. And then you can determine what the policy is. But Zakir Naik is bad news.
Indeed, Zakir Naik, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Pakistan's ISI, it's a very dangerous cocktail in Bangladesh, and we'll be tracking that story very closely. I want to thank my guests.